Hi everybody, it's Richard here again and welcome to the 7th part of my top 100 artists countdown. As I said before, it's based on a yearly album points based ranking system, and I also said that it's about 10% inaccurate, so there's about 10% error. In the last video I showed the 10 acts that are in the top 100 that shouldn't really be in there, they should be slightly below 100. And in this one I'm going to show the 10 that I would put in, and I'll do that now.
Show me a place where I don't have to worry. That's where I belong. Show me a place where I don't have to hurry. And that's where I belong.
Okay, so that's the 10 that I think should really be in. As this is the last video, we're starting off at number 15 down to my favourite artist. So at number 15 with 135 points, and maybe this is a little high, maybe they should really be top 30, because they're a band that whenever you're in the mood for them, they're probably the best band in the world, but whenever you're not in the mood for them, they can be quite irritating. And it's XTC, and this is probably my favourite, Black Sea, from 1980. This is the one with the singles Generals and Majors, Sergeant Rock, Respectable Street and Towers of London. Really good album. My favourite song off this is Living Through Another Cuba, which I think is a great groove. Yeah, XTC scored very highly with this album, and their next one, English Settlement. And English Settlement scored twice because it was very high up in the double albums charts as well. So XTC comes in at number 15 with 135 points. And number 14 with 139 points, it goes to Sparks, the brothers Mail, Ron and Russell, and this is Indiscreet from 1975, produced by Tony Visconti. This has got the hit singles Get in the Swing and Looks, but this is such a mixed bag. It's so many different styles of music, and it's actually quite hilarious. Hospitality on Parade is a great stomping number. It Ain't 1918 with its violins is hilarious. In the Future is a great little punk song. Under the Table with Her is brilliant as well. It's just violins. Brilliant album, and they're a brilliant band. Their albums from the 70s and 80s are totally excellent. In fact, they're very good throughout the whole career. They haven't really had a duff album. So Sparks come in at number 14 with 139 points. Okay, at number 13 with 142 points is Mike Oldfield, and this is my favourite album of his, Amarok, from 1990. This is actually a one piece of music. It's 60 minutes long, so it's best served on CD format than album format. Yeah, this album is completely bonkers. It really does go off on a tangent. It's really good. Oldfield's 70s albums are probably his most highly regarded. I do like his 80s stuff as well and beyond. I think he's a fantastic musician, and he's also got an ear for a melody as well, which is great. And you get little melodies in this here as well, like, you know, spread throughout the album. Brilliant album, brilliant artist, and he's my second favourite guitarist of all time. So Mike Oldfield comes in at number 13 with 142 points. Number 12 with 152 points, and it's the Kinks, and I'm going to give their best album to the Kinks, or the Village Green Preservation Society. Fantastic album from 1968. No singles in this, but highlights, well, the whole album's a highlight, but the major highlights are Animal Farm, Starstruck, Big Sky, Sitting by the Riverside, Monica, and I love that they're really bouncy. All of my friends were there. I think it's a fantastic album, and it charted 2 years ago as well, which is great to see. So the Kinks come in at number 12 with 152 points. At number 11 with 155 points, you may think this is too low. It's the Beatles, and Abbey Road is my third favourite album of all time. Yeah, for them to get 155 points with only really recording for, is it 6 or 7 years? I think it's 7 years. God, they've done well. So this is a masterpiece. I'm not even going to talk about it. You all know about this. And their music throughout is brilliant. I'm not as keen on the earlier stuff, which is probably why they slipped a little bit. But yeah, you can't really say much more. The Beatles, brilliant, brilliant band. Probably the best band ever, but not on my list. So number 11, the Beatles with 155 points. Number 10 with 158 points, and the best pop band ever. And it's ABBA. And you may think, oh my god, ABBA has beat the Beatles. But ABBA's pop music is magnificent. The songwriting is so strong. It's so melodic. It's excellent. All their albums are really good, but especially from Arrival to The Visitors, and this is The Visitors, and this is my favourite album. Yeah, The Visitors is a great song. The single One of Us was a top 3 hit. Head Over Heels is really catchy, but didn't do too well. It was the start of the slip for ABBA. But if you listen to the song Like an Angel Passing Through My Room and you don't think it's beautiful, I don't understand. So ABBA, number 10 with 158 points. At number 9 with 160 points, and it goes to Nick Lowe. Fantastic artist, brilliant songwriter, brilliant producer as well. This is The Impossible Bird from 1994. And this is the one with The Beast in Me on it, which he gave to Johnny Cash. In fact, they both released it the same year. It's also got the beautiful Lover Don't Go, and my personal favourite, Withered on the Vine. This is Nick Lowe all grown up and not trying to make a pop album. There's a slight country tinge to it, but not very much. It's just really good music for people over 30, really. So Nick Lowe, The Impossible Bird, and his back catalogue is brilliant, from Brinsley Schwarz through his Rockpile years, through his 80s pop years, and he's still making really good music. So he comes in at number 9 with 160 points. At number 8 with 172 points, and it's Queen. And A Night of the Opera is probably my favourite. I'm not so sure now because I'm playing Queen 1 a lot, and I actually really like that album. But yeah, the reason these guys score so high, they've got 4 really good songwriters, and there's not very many bands that have that. This is the one with Bohemian Rhapsody and You're My Best Friend, and also has Brian May's best song, 39. But what an opener with Death on Two Legs going into Lazy on a Sunday Afternoon. Love of My Life is an absolutely beautiful ballad, and even I'm in Love with My Car, I think it's a great song from Roger Taylor. So Queen, they're more consistent in the 70s for me than the 80s, but some of their 80s albums are really good too. So they come in at number 8 with 172. At number 7 with 172, and it's T-Rex, and Tanks is my favourite T-Rex album. No singles off this, but it has some fantastic songs like Rapids, Highway Knees, Left Hand Look, The Street and Babe Shadow, and then some really good wee rockers like Shock Rock, Country Honey, Born to Boogie. Tenement Lady is a fantastic opener as well. I just love the feel and the sound of this album. It's often not regarded as his best, usually about 3rd or 4th best, but for me it just stands out. So T-Rex at number 7 with 172 points. At number 6 with 179 points, and it's Elton John, and his 70s material is immense. Everything from the second album up to Single Man is immense, and then there's splashes here and there throughout the 80s and 90s, but his 70s album scored so high, and this is probably the best. Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, absolutely fantastic album. Funeral for a Friend, Love Lies Bleeding, what an opener. Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, Sweet Painted Lady, Harmony, brilliant song, and I even love the two rock and roll ones, Your Sister Can't Twist and Saturday Night's Alright for Fighting. So Elton John's Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, and he gets number 6. At number 5, and it goes to Paul McCartney and Wings, and this is my favourite. I love this album. It's just so warm. It's so something about it. Maybe the songs aren't that fantastic, but it's the overall sound of this. I can't really play a song here and a song there. The whole album has to get played. Every Night, fantastic. Maybe MMA is brilliant. That Would Be Something has got the best lick out. I really do love The Little Country. Man We Was Lonely. Junk is beautiful. Fantastic album. And his 70s material is brilliant. I think his 80s material is brilliant as well. It's from about 89 onwards that for me he becomes a little bit hit and miss. Some really good stuff, but it just doesn't have that same consistency for me as the 70s and the 80s, and that includes Press to Play. So Paul McCartney at number 5 with 179 points. At number 4 with 195 points, and it's Bob Dylan, and this is probably my favourite. This is Blonde on Blonde, and this has got I Want You. It has Stuck Inside of Mobile with the Memphis Blues Again, Visions of Johanna, Most Likely You Go Your Way I'll Go Mine, The Magnificent Sad-Eyed Lady of the Lowlands. Absolutely brilliant double album. And Bob Dylan's albums go up and down for me. His 60s, great stuff the whole way through. 70s, start of the 70s wasn't great, but then he really found his form in the mid to late 70s. 80s, a little bit up and down. 90s started off with a couple of dodgy cover albums, and then from 1997 onwards he's done really well, apart from the songbook albums. But Bob Dylan, number 4 at 195. Number 3 with 202 points, and I'm giving it to Paul Simon / Simon & Garfunkel, and this is the second best album of all time for me. Yeah, I love it. I love all Simon Garfunkel's albums. Yes, Wednesday Morning 3 AM has got a couple of clunkers on it, but apart from that, the rest of the albums are brilliant, and his solo material from 72 up to and including Rhythm of the Saints is flawless. Again, after Rhythm of the Saints is a little bit up and down. I really do actually like the songs from the Cape Man. I think it's a very, very good album, but nobody seems to like it. You're the One has got some good highlights. The only album I'm not keen on at all is the Stranger to Stranger one. So Paul Simon, number 3 with 202 points. And number 2 with 207 points, and it's the Rolling Stones, and Goat's Head Soup is magnificent. This is in my top 10 albums of all time as well. Not too sure what number it would be though. And this is coming out next month, I believe, as a remix, which I'm looking forward to. Yeah, the Stones, they have been so consistent. Even the 80s stuff, there's always something in a Stones album that's really, really good. Like Emotional Rescue is not one of the best albums, but it's got She's So Cold on it, and it's got Emotional Rescue on it, and it's got Dance on it. So there's 3 really good songs, and I really do now appreciate the later ones, the ones after Bill Wyman left. So Voodoo Lounge, Bridges to Babylon, and A Bigger Bang. They're all really good albums. Still not too keen on the Blue and Lonesome though. So anyway, Rolling Stones, number 2 with 207 points. So number 1 with a whopping 428 points, and this is the best album of all time. Yeah, Diamond Dogs, David Bowie. I love all his work, even the dodgy stuff, I will say, which are bad songs, but he hasn't really had a bad album. Why do I think David Bowie is number 1? Well, this is the reason now. anyway, so that that there shows you the whole of David Bowie's discography. He is my number one. He's been my number one for years and years and years, and this has been my number one album for years and years and years. So that's it, number one, Bowie. And that's the end of my top 100. I hope you enjoyed that. It's been fun for me to do. It's also been fun for me to watch the amount of subscribers I've lost over it, but that's all part of it. So anyway, I hope to have another video quite soon on something else. All the best now. Bye bye.